Actually, you know what? I'm going to start this with a coffee. Welcome back to my channel. I do hope that you had a really good Christmas and you celebrated the new year in style. We're obviously in February now, so hopefully you planned some New Year's resolutions and you've already been taking action with them. But if not, no worries. There's still plenty of wiggle room over the course of the rest of this year. Now, if it wasn't obvious already, I also had a break from my channel for a couple of months. And, you know, besides Christmas and New Year, there were a number of things going on behind the scenes. Now, one of the reasons why I did have a bit of a break was I genuinely took Johnny's passing quite personally. And I felt that I needed to have just a couple of months away really from a lot of things, just to really kind of like recuperate and think about, you know, what I wanted to do with helping guys, how I want to be running my YouTube channel and my business and the kind of content going forward as well. And I'm glad that I did, because it really gave me a lot of clarity on what I wanted to do. Besides all of that, as you can tell, I'm in a very different environment at the moment. I've actually moved house as well. So I was living on the east side of London, and now I'm sort of living the northwest side. And the reason is so that I could be nearer to the rest of my family. So my brother and sister-in-law a couple of months ago also had my newborn niece, who is the most gorgeous and adorable thing. So to be nearer them was, you know, it was something that I really wanted to do. But as you can imagine, with this combination of all these things, and then again with Christmas and New Year, and thinking about everything with Johnny and with business and stuff, I genuinely needed just some space to think about things. But I am back. I have thought about stuff. I know what I want to be doing going forward. If anything, really, this video is just going to be really bringing you all up to date on that and hopefully keeping you in the loop. And I genuinely feel that the new direction that I want to go with things is stuff that is going to be hugely beneficial for you and stuff that you are just genuinely going to love anyway. But I think just to get started, I want to start with covering a few things that guys had asked me over the last couple of months about with Johnny and about with his content as well that I put out. So back at the start of January, I uploaded about 240, 250 videos of Johnny's, and this was a mixture or a combination of both the anxiety product that we'd made together, as well as all of the videos that I'd filmed with him, mostly in 2014, but also in a little bit in 2016 and a little bit in 2020. And I've got to just say from the bottom of my heart, thank you to everyone who's checked out his videos. So I had a look through all the videos that I'd uploaded, and I could just see that every single one of his videos had actually been watched. And for me, that really means a lot, that you guys either binged watched his content or you just wanted to explore them, and maybe you even found something that resonated with you, or you were looking for something very particular, and there it was, something that Johnny had answered many years ago. And that really means a lot. Now, I did actually have some questions in about the videos, but I'll just kind of address them now. Basically, a guy had asked, like, why did I release it all in one go? Why didn't I like pipeline it out over the coming months or over the rest of the year? Now, I've written a couple of points down, and I've done this to share with you because I really want to get my my message out here quite clearly. That first of all, I really didn't want my YouTube channel turning into a shrine of Johnny, and Johnny's content is not part of my business. Now, over the course of Johnny's career, he did change direction with his work, and he actually had hidden a lot of the street demonstration content and transformations and stuff that we did together. Now, he was very proud of that content. So, you know, before guys start going like, oh, well, he hid it, but whatever. Like, no, he actually he loved it. That was some of the stuff that really drove his reputation to being the great coach that he was. But because of just the direction that he went in, he'd hid it. And because no one's got access to his YouTube channel, there would be no way to make those changes on his channel. But also, to counter that thought, I wouldn't want anything changed on his channel. I genuinely feel that Johnny's channel should remain untouched. That was his developmental journey. And even in like a poetic way, I think guys should be able to visit his channel and just see the kind of development that he had, and even the areas where like the mental health had unfortunately taken over, just to bring more awareness to mental health issues and why you have to take things so carefully as well as seriously if you are thinking about working on your social anxiety, whether it be in dating or just other areas of your life. So I didn't want my channel turning into a shrine. So, you know, if you end up looking on my channel, you'll see I have kind of compartmentalized by creating a playlist and put all of his videos into that playlist so it doesn't distract away from even my content, but at least it's there for guys to visit and check out. Now the thing as well, and I mentioned it already as I've got hair in my mouth, but I mentioned it already, but I've filmed with Johnny about 240 250 videos that I'd uploaded, and obviously there were more videos. If I'd have released the videos every week of Johnny's, even if I'd have done like 2 a week, it still would have been about 125 weeks. So you're talking then like 2 years to have then like fully released Johnny's content. And again, that would have just been a distraction from me releasing my content. And I don't want to be using Johnny's videos as sort of like a business strategy. I don't feel that that would be fair or respectful. So it was important for me to just get them up and available for people to watch, which kind of really brings me back to just the other points, which is I didn't want you guys really to be waiting for Johnny's content. I wanted you to just see it all in one go. Now, the downside with that is that with how the YouTube algorithm works, I literally flooded my channel with again 240, 250 videos, which has meant that the algorithm probably hasn't picked up many of those videos. In fact, I did see a couple of his videos did go a bit viral. They did get a couple of thousand views on them, but a lot, they hardly got like a couple of views. And that's absolutely fine. That wasn't necessarily my intention to try and get all this traction for stuff. It was the fact that if you guys want to watch Johnny's content, they are all there readily available for you to go and check out. They are visible for you and they're just literally in that playlist. And in fact, I'll show a video clip, but I also wanted to get back to normal. As well. As you can imagine, over the new year and especially at the start of January, I SEO'd all of those videos. I re-added the majority of the original thumbnails that I had for those original videos from 11 years ago. And it took a long time. I did actually get RSI on my hand. My hand was like throbbing in pain from like literally doing this like rinse and repeat over and over again, you know, of like copying the SEO and changing the description and stuff as well. And also removing all of my branding and stuff from each of those videos to just have the focus in the description and meta tags and things only to do with Johnny and his original channel. So, you know, it took a lot of time. And in all honesty, I think I've probably spent about 100 hours again over Christmas and New Year to get all of this stuff up for Johnny. And again, it was such a repetitive job. I really didn't want to stretch that out. I just wanted it out there for guys. So it's a shame that yes, the algorithm didn't pick up on a lot of the videos. You know, it is what it is. But at the end of the day, if you want to watch Johnny's videos, they are all there for you. There is nothing, well, I'd say probably about 95% of it hasn't been held back. It is out there now on my channel for you to watch. So please do, you know, check them out and look at them. And in fact, even just scrolling to the bottom, as you can see here, I've got in memory of my friend, Johnny Berba O'Halloran. And then I've got the 3 playlists. So the first one was the playlist that has all of the videos that I filmed with him. That second one has the anxiety program, which I'll go over very shortly. And also that last playlist there is my documentary video and just sort of like the updates of things with Johnny's passing as well. So yeah, I mean, by all means, if you haven't checked out the documentary, please do. I'm really grateful as well for everyone who really left some amazingly nice messages about it and people who said that they loved it. It really meant a lot to me to make it, and I wanted to do something as best as I possibly could to remember my friend. So yeah, I'm glad that it's out there for people to see. But even in regards to all of the rest of Johnny's videos, if I just pause that, if I can pause that, there we go. So you can see there's literally the entire playlist of videos, and I did actually get someone ask me about why the thumbnails are all different colors and stuff. Now, back in 2014, Johnny was also my guinea pig for my YouTube coaching. Like back then, I knew I wanted to get involved doing something YouTube related, and I had ideas in mind of like how you could turn YouTube into a business, because one of my other businesses was or still is that I'm a YouTube strategist and I can help people to grow their businesses with YouTube. And Johnny was my first person that I did this with, and I got to trial and test a lot of things that really worked and was stuff that I then continued to teach people for over a decade. And also what so many other dating coaches who then worked with me then implemented, because I literally rinsed and repeated the same thing with every single coach. So if you end up visiting a YouTube channel and you see a playlist that says like advice videos, another one that says like client transformations and testimonials, and another one that maybe says like in-field demonstrations or street demos and stuff, you know, all of that did actually stem from me and the stuff that I did with Johnny originally. One of the other things that I did do with Johnny was I had this idea of like a color scheme thing as well. So when guys were visiting the channel, they could recognize that if they saw a colored thumbnail of a certain color, then they would know what it was. So for example, the red thumbnails were basically street demonstrations or in-field demonstrations. Blue was your advice videos. Gold was your sort of social freedom stuff and documentaries or social experiments. Purple, purple was the in-fields, like just the in-field, and the red was like your demonstration where there was like a breakdown or there was like a tutorial or an explanation on how to do something in particular with speaking to strangers. So it kind of went a bit more in depth with that, whereas the purple was just the approach of Johnny chatting to women, and you just literally saw the full interaction, no other distractions or anything like that was there. And then you had the orange, which was the client transformation, and then there was the green, which was the interviews. I wonder if I can see. Oh, there we go. Yeah. So you got one of Joe, one of me there, and there were others, but they've been requested not to be put up. So just another thing as well, whilst I'm thinking about it, because someone also did ask a question, is there anywhere else that you can view these videos? And the answer is no. Now, I've been specifically strict about people sharing these videos because I don't really want to dilute YouTube with loads of different channels that are using Johnny's content. I'd rather it just be Johnny's friends, especially those who maybe film with him or did some like collaboration with him. I'd rather it be that it's only them are the ones who have that content, because unfortunately there are grifters and there are people who are quite happy to exploit content so they can kind of get the extra views, or they can monetize their channels, or I don't know, they'll just use Johnny's content in an unfair way. And I have just sort of put my foot down and gone like, no, I don't want people taking the video footage that I've filmed with him, especially for me. Otherwise, I'll just be really strict with it. But also, like I mentioned before, no one has access to Johnny's channel, so no one can actually unhide or republish the video content that I've uploaded. Otherwise, to be honest, I'd be more than happy for that. Again, I wouldn't really want anything touched on Johnny's channel. And by me uploading the videos, and I think Eddie from Street Attraction, whose new YouTube channel is Stoic. He's going to hate me, but it's Stoic something. He's going to upload stuff of Johnny as well. We actually met up during December to go over, what should we do? And we both agreed like he'll release stuff of Johnny on his channel. I'm going to do it on mine. And if the other camera guys that Johnny had reach out, then definitely we're going to recommend the same thing. But again, at least we've got the control over the videos. We can protect their copyright. And also we've been able to just direct people to Johnny's channel. And as you'll see on the videos that I have put out, if you look in the description, I've kind of put like obituary. I could be mistaken. I don't use the word that often, obviously, but I've kind of done a thing in memory of him, and also just put links to his main YouTube channel for guys to be able to check out that way. So the other thing I want to talk about very quickly is Johnny's anxiety program. So I'm over the moon that guys have actually been watching the videos, but I don't think guys maybe have that understanding of, you know, what to do with the anxiety course that I made with him. So I'm just going to go over it with you quickly. Underneath the video in the description, I've actually got a link for guys to be able to download the PDF that has the walkthrough on how to appropriately use the video course. But ultimately, back at the day, I was doing the Insanity DVD set, which is like a HIIT training thing that you do at home. And that was where I took the inspiration from the idea about watching a video per day, and then you go out and do the exercise from that video. And over the course of 30 days, you essentially progress and get better, and the challenges get a bit more unique, as well as the time that you spend going out to practice gets longer and stuff as well. And by the end of the 30 days, you at least are at a point where you can just go up to someone, give them a compliment, and start a conversation. So it's a fantastic course. It really gave the Day Game Blueprint a run for its money. So if you've heard of that, believe it or not, this did fantastically well at the time. And it's why I do recommend it for guys to do, especially if you can't quite afford to go to a dating coach and you want to at least try and do stuff on your own. This would be a thing that I would 100% recommend you try and do. But if you end up downloading the PDF, so I mean, I've got a link there in a URL, which actually I might need to update, which I'll explain why in a moment or a bit later. But yeah, if you download the PDF, it says then what video to watch each day. And then literally in the playlist, just watch the video and then follow the exercise. So at least with it being on YouTube, you can do this whilst you're out and about. So wherever you are in the world, whatever city you're in, just literally go out, watch the video. They're not very long. In fact, by the looks, you know, they're between like 2 minutes to 7-8 minutes. You know, they're not really very long. Oh, 8 minutes. Yeah, there you go. So they're not very long, but they just get you started. They give you everything that you need to know to approach or just to take action in a very incremental kind of way and just get you started with talking to strangers, especially again, if you want to do it on your own. So that's really what you need to do if you want to have a go at the anxiety program. It's not for you to just binge watch all of the videos in one go. It's ideally you are watching like a video or two a day, and then you do the exercises that's required from them, especially what is said in the PDF. So hopefully that explanation does give you a bit more clarity on what you need to do if you want to give this a go on your own. So one last thing about with Johnny is that he has actually now been buried. He's in Kensal, I think that's how it's pronounced, Kensal Cemetery. It's near Paddington Station. And I am actually going to go and pay my respects probably over the next week or two to go down there now that I've moved. And in fact, actually, I'm a little bit nearer to Paddington than where I was on the other side of London. But I am going to pay my respects to Johnny, and I'll share the address out. So if you guys do want to go and pay your respects, and I do mean those who do want to pay their respects, then by all means, I'll give you the address and then you can go and do that yourself as well. But okay, right, I think that's probably everything with Johnny. So now let's actually talk about what I plan to do with my channel and my business going forward. So I sort of teased it at the start of this video that I took some time to sort of self-reflect and just have some alone time to think about what I wanted to do with my business and with the YouTube channel. And I've sort of decided that I am going to have a slight rebrand of my channel and business. And I'm not going to do that yet. I'm going to do that over this weekend, and hopefully by the start of next week that will be updated. But with how I'm choosing to update it, or how I'm choosing to rebrand, I'm gonna make it a little bit less focused on dating and more about reducing social anxiety with talking to strangers, and doing that through the avenue of cold approaching. So I love cold approaching. I am a huge advocate of it. I wouldn't be in this industry if I wasn't. And I think in a way it's a rite of passage that every guy, no matter what their age is, should experience doing cold approaching and just throwing themselves into it, even for a short space of time. And there are a tremendous amount of benefits that a guy can get from it that can help them to work on their confidence, help them to work on being a risk taker, not being so scared of life, helps with depression, anxiety, agoraphobia, and also just helps to develop social skills and helps guys to grow up a bit, I think, as well. And of course, it's amazing for dating. And I don't want guys to think that, oh, I'm stepping away from that. By all means, no. I still help guys with meeting women. And in fact, even to quote something that Johnny once said, and this is something that I have 100% held on to for a really, really long time. And it genuinely touched me when I'd edited that clip into the documentary when I came across it again, which was that if you can speak to women and you can have that confidence to go and do that, especially if you have so much fear and anxiety with it, then you can do anything. Now, he certainly said it in a much smoother way than I did. But again, ultimately, if you can overcome your anxiety and speak to women that you're attracted to, then you can literally do anything in your life. Anything is literally possible. And I love that message. I want to be able to offer guys who maybe aren't necessarily looking for help with dating, and that are looking also for help with their social skills, or they want to be able to communicate better. They want to be able to talk to strangers and not be so scared to do it. And of course, I also want to be able to help the guys who want to get off of dating apps and they want to meet women more organically. So like I say, the rebrand is probably going to take place over the weekend or next week. So I don't know how that's yet going to interfere with people being able to like search and find my videos. So if you aren't subscribed to my channel, please do. It will certainly help you to stay up to date on the stuff that I do want to put out, as well as for people who are already subscribed. Don't worry, the rebranding really isn't going to be that much of a change, but let's just say it's going to feel and sound a lot more like me, and it's going to be able to allow me to bring, I think, more of my personality into it rather than just sort of like the angle of dating constantly. And also the rebrand kind of gives me a bit more flexibility with the content that I want to create, especially if it's not just about, you know, dating or teaching guys how to speak to women. I want to be able to make like social freedom videos or social experiment videos, or do interviews with people on the street, not just like women, but like men and stuff as well as even being able to do collaborations with people, not just dating coaches, but people who either are coaches or just have YouTube channels that have such an amazing message that's going to help people to, again, overcome their shyness and develop some confidence. So I think going forward, you know, the rebrand is going to just do wonders for my business, and definitely for the kind of guys that I feel definitely need help and that I know will actually reach out to me for help. You know, I'm not stepping away from dating. I am still 100% helping people with that. But by focusing a little bit less on dating and also more on the idea of using cold approach as a way to help people overcome their shyness and anxiety with talking to people, yeah, it really does open me up to just more opportunities with helping people, which really kind of leads on to the last thing of like, you know, what sort of changes I've made to my business as well. Now, the actual coaching that I offer hasn't changed. So I still offer my 4-hour tasting. I still have my 7-hour filming and feedback. And then I still have my 22-hour coaching, which is spread out over 7 days. So it's essentially a 7-day transformation program. And I've also got my weekly live calls and Zoom calls that I do with people on WhatsApp support. So the way now I'm doing this now is that the price for everything, I've actually made things cheaper for starters. After really considering, you know, the mental health problems that is going on in this industry, I felt that I really don't want guys to feel like that because something was too expensive, it's now out of reach for them. So I have lowered my prices a fair bit, probably by a good third. to just make things a lot more affordable. But for the 7-day program, so for the week-long coaching, I'm now actually doing peak and off-peak prices. So depending on when you want to have coaching in the year, during the season, so I've kind of how I've done it, then the price will either be a little bit more expensive than other months, but ultimately everything now is a lot cheaper than what it was priced at before. So if you are interested in coaching, by all means, have a look on my website, ask me questions, drop me a message. I am here to offer you support and guidance, whatever it is that you are looking for, and particularly with social anxiety. But I just think this new pricing going forward is going to do wonders. And in fact, the few guys that I had come forward just recently, they've approved it 100%, which I'm over the moon about as well. So I think it's been a healthy decision to make, to just sort of lower the prices. It's made it more affordable and reachable for guys who do need help and do need that support. And it certainly also, I think, just removes those excuses of like, oh, I can't, fix my life because everything's now just way too expensive. So I've genuinely got something that I think will appeal to a lot of people. And that's whether or not even afterwards you feel that you do or don't need to go to a dating coach, because I have so much conviction in the help that I can offer. You probably won't need to go to a coach afterwards. I think you will find your rhythm with speaking to people, which is the point of what I like to teach. And the same sort of message that Johnny had about teaching authenticity and communication and just learning to be very genuine with your self-expression to people is really, really what I want to bring out. I want every guy to just have a different conversation. I don't want everyone sounding the exact same as what like the Day Game Blueprint would teach back in the day. I don't want to see that. I want guys to have some, I don't know what the word would be individuality. So have a look at the coaching and stuff. But like I say, I have reduced the prices on things. And if you want to know, just feel free to ask and I'll be happy to share that pricing. But I do, by the looks of it, I think that's probably everything. So again, just to reiterate, I am going to be tweaking the branding over the weekend to something very different. Like I say, it's not going to be a dramatic change. It will be slightly different. But do subscribe to the channel if you haven't, if you just want to stay up to date, and if you still want to be able to find Johnny's stuff. Although I find it difficult to believe that with the change that I'm planning to make, it's going to be impossible to find Johnny's stuff. Pretty pissed off with YouTube if that did happen. But rest assured, I'm not going anywhere. I'm really looking forward to what I want to produce content-wise for this channel. If there are any guys as well, in fact, whilst I think about it, who would love to be on my YouTube channel as part of my client transformations. And I will even say now, it doesn't have to be for anything dating related. If you want to learn just how to have conversations with strangers through doing cold approaching, I would love for you to reach out. It doesn't have to be anything to do with dating. I really want to be proud of every video that I put out. I'm going to get women involved in the channel as well to help me out with things. I want this to be a very unisex channel and help everyone with their social anxiety. And again, this is what the new branding is going to be able to help me with. I don't want people feeling ashamed at the idea of cold approaching and going for what they want in life. And trust me, even over the years, I've actually helped women meet guys through doing cold approaching, and trust me, they have no shame with doing it. So guys shouldn't feel the shame either. But thank you for watching. Subscribe if you can, just to stay up to date on everything. As of next week, I'm going to start making videos properly again, and the first video that I'm going to look to make is going to be to do with the different pills that are out there, because someone did ask me. Actually, it was when I had a client call or a consultation call, he'd actually asked me about my thoughts with the pills, and I said, to be honest, I never really sort of like prescribed to them, but and we were both actually having a look on Google together over the phone, and it was just interesting just to discover a bit more about like the red pill, blue pill, black pill and all that. And I think that could make for a really, really good video. So yeah, stay tuned for that for next week whilst we explore the different pills that are out there and seeing, I don't know, maybe which one I identify as and you know, maybe what one you should be identifying as well. Again, I'm really looking forward to this channel. I'm glad to be back making videos. I can't wait to see what 2025 brings, not just for me, but for you guys watching. And I really hope that you give me the opportunity to change your lives. So again, thank you very much for watching. Until the next video.